What is good, everyone, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'll be showing you guys settings you need to change right now in Black Ops 6. The first one is going to be in the HUD presets, because usually you see your ammo, you see your trophy, your tacticals in the bottom right of your screen, or whatever field upgrade you use. But what I like to use is you go to interface, you go to HUD presets, you switch it to classic. If you switch it to classic, the trophy will be in the middle of your screen. So right when, like, you know how when you're just playing, you're usually looking at your gun or the characters in front of you. Out of your peripherals, you will see the trophy system light up bright yellow or gold, and you're able to just throw it right away. But when you switch it, you also have to make sure you go back into your settings and change your mini map to square, because for whatever reason when you switch to HUD presets, it changes it back to circle. So make sure after you change that, you go put it to square, so you see your mini map is bigger. But this really helps just because when you're in the moment and like you're just locked in, you're in war on your screen, you're able to see that light and just throw your trophy system to save your teammates and save you from getting hit by tacticals. And the second setting will be color customization. So you can mess with all these. You can make what color you want your arrow to be on the minimap, what color you want your teammates, your party, your enemy. You can mess with all that. But if you go down to color filter settings, the default is none. But I feel like when you play on filter 2, which is my personal preference, it just looks a little sharper, I guess you could say, and a little bit brighter, more vibrant, kind of like an arcadey shooter would. But I would highly recommend you do mess with this setting. You try different ones, whether it's filter 1, whether it's filter 3. This is a little crazy because you see how like orange it gets when you're in the settings. But I like filter 2. That's my personal preference. And make sure your world color intensity is on 100. Same with your interface color intensity. And of course, if you end up not liking this, you can always go back to none, because that's usually what the default is on this game. But personally, I think filter 2 looks really good, and it just helps to see like the characters, because some of the suits that the operators that people run are really dark, and it just helps to see them if they're in like dark corners or whatever it may be. So definitely give that a try. This video is brought to you guys by repeat.gg. Repeat.gg is a tournament hosting platform where you can sign up and play to win and cash prizes. You can play games like Warzone, Fortnite, Rocket League, and many others. So you can test your skills. You can get your squad as well. You can test your squad skills versus other squad skills. The best part is you play for cash prizes. Just in December and January alone, they'll be giving away over $250,000 in cash and prizes. So we spent all this time sitting here gaming all day. Why not go make some money off of it and go see just how good you are when you compete against the best? Repeat.gg, go check it out. This next audio setting helps so much. It's so easy to tell where people are coming from now. One of the big issues I had earlier on in the game is I was just hearing people but couldn't like pinpoint exactly the direction of them. So you're gonna go into audio, you're gonna go down to configure frequency intensity. For your left channel, you're gonna have 250 hertz on 50, 500 hertz also on 50, 1K on 0, 2K -10, 4K -10, 6K, 8K, 10K all on 25. And you want to do the same exact thing for the right channel frequency as well. So it's 50, 50, -10, -10, 25, 25, 25. And trust me, it will sound so much clearer. You'll be able to tell exactly where the footsteps are coming from, because it does help me a ton. So I absolutely love these frequency settings. And with the aiming update, the sensitivity I will be running now is 1.50 for my horizontal and vertical stick sensitivity. This is pretty much like a 6.5 if you round it up using the chart. So 1.50, but I would say like the sweet spot is anywhere from like 1.45 to 1.50 to play like on 6 or slightly above 6, because I feel like 6 might be a little too slow in this game. 7 might be slightly too fast, so like 6.5 is like right where I'm aiming for, right in the middle. And then if you go down to the dead zone inputs, here's the dead zone I use. For my left stick min, I have it on 0. Then my left stick max, I have it on 75, so I don't have to move my analog as much outside to be able to strafe. So it just helps you start your strafe quicker, pretty much. Right stick min, I use 3. I always do like the test for it. I shoot at a wall, see if it moves, and right when it stops moving, that's the number I keep it on. So that's how you test to see if your controller has stick drift. Right stick max is always 99. My left and right trigger will both be 0. These are my updated aiming settings. When changing your horizontal and vertical stick sensitivity as well, it only goes up in decibels of 10. So 1.6 to 1.5. But to actually get it to, let's say if you want 1.45, what you need to do, you need to switch to your keyboard input, 1.45, type it and save it like that. That's how you actually need to change it, because otherwise you're going to be stuck of just going to 1.5, 1.6, 1.7, and of course you're going to want to try every single one, because 1.45 might not feel good, 1.5 might not feel good, but 1.48 might be the perfect one. So make sure you actually just use your keyboard to type it in. But personally, I like 1.50. If I make any changes, I will keep you guys updated. But for now, 1.50 is the hit for me. It feels like the sweet spot where I'm able to still move and keep up with people using the Omni movement, but it's not too slow as well. It's a perfect middle ground of fast and slow for the sensitivity. You want to make sure you are comfortable with your ADS sensitivity multiplier. This is when you are aiming down sight. So I have mine on 1.0, but if this seems too fast when you're aiming down, you're not able to like hit shots and stay locked onto the enemy, you can put it to 0.95, 0.9, or even 0.85, and it does mess with your sensitivity, so you will have to like figure out the exact conversion. That's why I like to keep it on 1.0, but you definitely should go in private match and test it out on some bots and see what feels good and see what feels the most accurate. And then when you go to aiming advanced settings, if you have it on instant, it's instantly 1.0 when you're aiming in. But if you have it on gradual, it slowly builds up to that 1.0 when you are playing. And now in the most recent update, they made it so there's no visual recoil on weapons, which some people were complaining about. Others were fine with it. I don't think the visual recoil was an issue. They just need to actually add recoil onto the guns, because there's no real recoil on the weapons, and so there's pretty much no recoil at any time. But I personally like it just because you can see how straight it shoots. It just feels good. It looks smooth. It reminds me of like an MW2 ACR shooting is what it really reminds me of, and I think it just looks good. But you guys, you can let me know in the comments what you think of the new visual recoil update, that there pretty much is no visual recoil, where there used to be a lot more bounce on the guns when you were shooting. And for movement, to make sure you're not wasting any time, you want to have your sprint assist on, and you're going to want to go to the related settings, and you want to have single tap sprint as well. If you have to hit double tap, you have to hit your analog twice to start sprinting. If you hit single tap run, you can do this, or single tap sprint is good. If you do single tap run, your gun's gonna be like up like this at all times, which can cost you in certain gunfights, because you're not gonna be ready for the enemy that's coming around the corner, because they're gonna come around the corner and you're gonna have your gun up instead of just single tap run, where you hit it once, you start sprinting. But then you're also able to just what we call burger walk, so you'll just be walking and you'll be looking in front of you, and you're just like, you're centered on the enemy, then you just aim and kill them. So single tap run is probably the best one to use. Of course, you want spring door bash on. Make sure you have grounded mantle off. If you do not have grounded mantle off, you're going to be climbing on anything that's nearby you. And now also make sure you have automatic airborne mantle off as well, because if you do not have these settings off, you will just be climbing on random things. You won't be able to go where you want to go. You'll be in a gunfight, next you try to jump next to a wall, next thing you know, you're climbing the wall, and then you die, you lose the gunfight because you climbed. Corner slice, that's just personal preference. Mantle assist, make sure you have this off as well. So mantle, automatic airborne mantle, and the other one, make sure you have all off. And then for slide/dive behavior, I use slide only. I was diving a little too much on accident when I was in gunfights, but if you can control hybrid, I recommend you play on hybrid. It just makes movement the smoothest possible. But slide only is still good, especially if you are an AR player. You can just get away with using slide only. But if you are SMG, you kind of have to use hybrid, just because there's so many situations where you will be diving. That's just really good. So make sure you have these settings.